Hello guys, welcome to a new video. In this video we are talking about God. I already made a short about the existing of God, that it is also proven by science that God is there, and also Albert Einstein just proved that God is real the more he is into the universe and all these laws and all this dimension. And to everyone who don't believe in God, I know you cannot see God, and I know everyone cannot see God, but we can also not see feelings or emotions or energies with our eyes that are given. But we can feel it. We can feel emotions. We can feel feelings. We can feel pain. We can feel emotions. We have a gut feeling that tells us something. We can feel a lot of things. We can feel sadness, but we cannot see it. And that is the same thing with God. We cannot see God, but we can feel God. We can feel that when we pray to God, when we talk to God. Okay, you don't need to pray to God. We can. This is also another topic, but every one of us has a certain and unique and individual relationship to God. So you don't need to go to the church to pray to God and to talk to Him. You can also be at home in your room and just sit there and talk to God, because God is always there and can always hear you. So you don't need to go to the church to pray. You can pray at home. You can pray by writing letters. You can pray with, I don't know, with numbers. You can pray to when you look to the sky or to the moon. You know, you can do really completely different and crazy things. But the important thing is that you feel a certain connection, to God. But what I want to say is that you don't need to see God to have a proof that God is there or that God exists, because you feel it. Whenever you try to ask God something, even though you don't believe in God, but sit there and or stand there and just talk to God or ask Him something, I promise you, you will feel something in yourself and you will get a response from God of your answer. A lot of people say, like, maybe it is the universe or it is created by the laws of the universe, but it is also God. A lot of people compare God with the universe. God is the universe. God in the universe is a part of God. Because at the end of the day, God is the number one that created everything, that is everything, and who knows everything. Also, your life is written by God. Your life and your soul is directed by a soul plan that is already written by God and your old self, your old soul. So everything that happens and you feel, oh my God, this may be magic, or I met a person, I don't know where he or she came from, but now it is one of the important person in my life, blah blah. This person is sent from God to you. And everything that happens into your life has a reason. And this reason is not because you go to the coffee shop and met the person. No, it is because God is directing you. God guides you and tells you what to do, but you don't really realize that because you are not really aware of what happens to your surroundings. When you look to, for example, to the clock, or when you be more aware of what happens around you, like when you see angel numbers, or angel numbers are like numbers who are, how can I say it? For example, when you see always the number 111 or 222, or like the same numbers, or the same clock numbers when you look to the watch. These are kind of answers that you get from the universe and also from God when you try to connect with them. But you cannot sit there and say, like, well, I want to have good things coming into my life. That will not happen. You just sit and wait there and say, like, when God is a good person, then He will save me, or something like that. Well, it's true. God loves you. God loves every person, even though you do not so good things. But the main thing is that when you want to have a connection with God or with the universe, but we're talking about God, so that's the reason why I say God. When you want to have a connection to God, then you need to talk with Him. You need to connect with Him. And the way how you do it is when you pray. And as I said, you don't need to go to the church or to anything to pray or have a certain position, like you're doing this or this. But you need to talk with God. It doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter where you're sitting right now. It doesn't matter what you think in your head right now. Ask God. Talk to God and ask him for direction. Ask him or tell him about your day. Tell him about your feelings. Say, God, today it was not a good day. I felt fear because normally I wanted to do that, but I did this and I didn't really know how to move on and something like this, because God is a guide. He's a supporter. And when you talk to him, ask him, or try to connect with him, God will respond to you. God will show you the right way, but he will also show you a wrong way. And normally, I don't know if you ever heard this, but when you want something or when there's something that is meant for you, God will take everything you have away from you at first, so you don't really have nothing. It could be that bad things first happen to you, but it is something that has to be, that need to be done. You need to put your old life behind you when you want a new life. So God is cleaning everything you have into your life to give you new things. And this is also a law of the universe. But I can just tell you more about the law of the universe in another video. But the main thing is, you cannot say that God is not there because you don't see it with your eyes or you don't have enough proof. You don't need proof. You just need to start talking to God, to have a connection to God, to, try to speak with God. Do it and tell me what you experienced. Tell me what God was response to you. And I know at first you can think rational and say well, I asked God for something and I didn't get a response and something like that. And it can also take time, for sure. So you cannot really have it directly. God is not sending you a new TV or a new smartphone, something like that. But you will get hints. You will, in your life, you will get a change in your life. Something will happen to your life when you ask God, when you talk to God, when you pray to God. And you have to see God as a friend. You can just talk to God like a friend, or like when you speak with a parent, for example. It's like, it should not have a big deal, but you have to respect God like every other person, and you have to try to connect with him. Talk to God, speak with God. You can also write letters to God. So when you don't want to speak or when you feel uncomfortable to speak, you can also write. You can write letters, you can write a journal or a diary where you say, Dear God, today was a bad day and I don't know what to do. Can you give me some help, or can you just change my life? I don't know. God will respond to you. And I did that and my life completely changed, because at first I was also a person who don't really believe in God. But when I first talked to God and told him, God, I don't know if you can hear me, but I need help. Directly, I need help and I don't know what to do with my life, in my life. And God really responds directly like I wanted. And he was not there and whispering in my ears what he wants to do with me, but he showed me every day that my life get better and better. And I didn't even know how. But the only thing was, I know that the first time I was spoken to God, that my life get better and better. And that was for me the reason, and I really feel that in my heart. And that was the reason why I exactly know that God is there. So for everyone who don't believe in God, or who already believe in God and who wants to have a stronger connection to God, please talk to God. Talk to him. Ask him something. Try to connect with him. And as I said, you don't need to do it in a traditional way. You can also do it in a different way, in your unique way, in the way you feel comfortable with. Because at the end of the day, you are the one who wants to connect with God. And for example, me, I can just tell you how I do it. I feel a really strong connection when I look to the sky, when I see stars in the sky and the moon. And that is the moment where I feel God the strongest. And where I feel comfortable to talk to God about my day, about my feelings, about what I want to achieve in my life, and if He can help me, if He can support me in any ways. And this is something that you also should try to do. And I tell you, it can really change your life. It can change your life. It can help you with everything. Even though you don't believe it, it doesn't matter. Okay, when you don't believe it, but do it. Try to connect with Him and tell me how your life changed after this. And it can take time. It's really individual how and when God responds to you, or when your life starts to change. But you will feel it. You will see it. And that is the main point. And remember, you don't see feelings. You don't see emotions. You don't feel. You don't see energies. You don't see it. We don't see pain. We also don't see, well, that's a bad example, but we don't see our brain, for example, but we know that we have a brain. Something like this. You don't need to see something to believe in it. You don't need to have a proof or something that is written on paper to believe it. So I really hope that you just start trying this. Try this and tell me how your life changed. Tell me how God responds to you. And I can promise you, God will. God will be there for you. He will answer, and your life will change. And you will get the proof. You will get the proof. Everyone will get the proof. People who don't believe in God will have the proof. And that is the proof that God is real. And this is the best proof I can just tell you. So I hope you like this video. When you have other questions about all this topic with God, universe, I will make definitely more videos about this. But for everyone who listened, do this because it would really change your life. So I would say we see us in the next video, and don't miss to follow this account to have more videos, and like this video if you enjoyed this. So I would say have a good day and believe in God. Bye bye.